Welcome to another how to anime video. I'm Otaku-san. Here on this channel we give raw opinions about our favorite animes. This is another video about Chainsaw Man because Chainsaw Man is just really awesome. So one of my favorite aspects of Chainsaw Man and one of the most important characters in Chainsaw Man is Makima. So episode 11 just came out and that episode covers manga chapters 32, 33, 34 and part of 35. The reason why we need to talk about episode 11 is because it is the most important episode for Makima's characters. Episode 9 was iconic in a way that Makima first showed her powers, and it's still a very mysterious kind of power. She came back alive and then she just killed dudes. She sacrificed other characters in order to kill the other bad guys. So what is this episode's most important part of this episode? It's the introduction of the idea of the necessary evil. In the anime, the Yakuza mob boss guy, he says Hitsuyo Akute. So it is probably the most important character aspect to Makima's character. So before I continue any further, this video is not really a spoiler, but it can lead you to be spoiled. When I watched episode 11, I had the same vibe and same questions rose up when I had it in the manga. So these are the same kind of things that we're going to be talking about, of what kind of drove certain thoughts out of me, of what I thought about her character, and a bunch of red flags that came up. So when this entire arc is over, I will be coming back to episode 11 for Makima and episode 1. Those are foundational episodes for Makima's character and just the whole arc in general and what it overall means. It's the overarching kind of lesson in the show. So the idea of necessary evil is my favorite aspect to any character in any anime, any TV show or whatever, because no matter who you are, you operate on necessary evil. It is the one true gray area about us humans, because we all are conflicted with necessary evil, like pirating content, stealing from the rich, or politics, like forcing yourself to choose a political party. So in this case of Makima, what did we learn? Oh my god, is this me editing another ghetto transition? Well guys, I was editing my video. I wanted to make this the most important part of what I'm trying to get across. When we commit necessary evil, we are doing it because we're doing it for the greater good. And that is my biggest point of this entire video. And that is what leads Makima to do what she does. And that's how most of us operate as people, because every little thing that we do it because we think it is for the better. And that is the reason why I really like Makima's character. Now back to the original video. We learned that Makima did not believe in the Yakuza bosses necessary evil, but she believes in her own. So what the Yakuza boss explains is basically this:
we run the underworld
and we help Japan out by fighting off all these foreign mob bosses, like all the Chinese mafia, the Russian mafia, all of these other people. We as the Yakuza are necessary to combat the underworld. So Makima vehemently disagrees. She thinks that their necessary evil is not the right necessary evil, and it is the government's duty as actors and acting as that necessary evil for society. So in my head during this moment, I was thinking about, yo, she a freaking commie, bro. Like in my head, I just instantly thought, dude, is she like a communist or something? So Chainsaw Man, there's layers. You have the humorous aspects, you have Denji's background. To me, Denji represents the common man. That is my metaphor for his characters. All those kind of serious aspects is cloaked in this kind of humor. So that's why I rage heavily on the Chainsaw Man anime's humor, because a lot of the plot elements, a lot of the characters underneath that humor, underneath that kind of comedic satire, that comedic irony, is actually very, very serious topics when you kind of lift off all that humor. So having some of these things be too, serious for these characters, it kind of like ruins that balance for me. So going back to what the Yakuza said about the Yakuza being a necessary evil and Makima being against that specific necessary, and she believes her part of the government's job is to act as that necessary evil, and she does it throughout the show, and she's already done it multiple times. The very first episode, what did Makima do?
Listen, man, if you don't work for me, I'm just gonna kill you.
And that's what she basically said to Denji. What happened in a couple episodes ago? It's kind of like Light Yagami in Death Note. She was willing to kill all these prisoners that committed heinous acts in society. She traded their lives for the lives of these other ones that helped kill all these devil hunters under Katana Man and Sawatari. So she 100% acts on that necessary evil, and that's what makes her character super fascinating. I'm not a simp for Makima, but I love the character and what she represents as that necessary evil. So once again, it is Makima going against the Yakuza having that control of that necessary evil, playing that underground. She believes it's the government's job to control that necessary evil. Part of her powers is basically takes these evil people's lives that are in prison, and she kills off all these other bad guys. So those are characteristics, guys, of an anti-hero or of a villain. Most heroes try to save everyone. They're the goody two-shoes kind of characters, and those characters are actually pretty damn lame, because the most relatable aspects are those characters that tote the line using necessary evil. It's like going to war. In order to defeat your enemy, you are going to end up having to kill people. So that's why I love part of Makima's character. There's a certain darkness that all of us kind of have to live with, and it makes her character super relatable in that aspect, and it just makes for a good character that could end up being an anti-hero, or she literally already is at least an anti-hero. So it kind of sets up for her to question her acts. And within episode 11, you already have Kishibe coming in questioning,
What side are you really on, Makima? I don't completely trust you.
So in that episode, it's already telling you many things where you want to question Makima, but so far there are still benefits of the doubt that she's still acting on the side of good. But as of right now, and as of working for the government, and how she's working for these mysterious Illuminati kind of old dudes, it just makes you think, hey man, there is a huge benefit of the doubt of these people being completely good, but at the same time they could still be working for the benefit and for the peace of society. So that is kind of how the government in real life and just in general has always operated. So I love that aspect. It's so relatable, it's so close, it hits so close to home. I always talk about the humor and how it's really funny, but the humor is great in contrast to the seriousness and the more relatable aspects, realistic elements of Chainsaw Man. And that is, for at least for this video, the idea of necessary evil. And that necessary evil is a complete gray area, which could end up warping yourself to being this villainous character, or a character that is actually a good person, a good guy, So if everyone hasn't already decided about Makima, she 100%, we know she operates on a certain necessary evil. She believes in keeping the peace, but at the same time, she shows no holds bar to really bad people. As you can see, that she sacrificed those prisoners' lives in order to just straight up kill off all these other characters without a real due process. So if you guys want to take a look at the manga panel, so in chapter 33, pages 12 and 13, those are the panels that the anime replicated and introduced that idea of necessary evil. And I just love this part of the chapter because Makima, she says, it's for the safety of the public. I appreciate your cooperation. And then the Yakuza boss, he brings up, are you familiar with the phrase necessary
Evil.
He goes on to say, do we do some bad things? Sure, but the Chinese mafia, the Russian mafia, they commit far more horrible deeds than us. We're the ones holding them at bay. So that is what Makima completely is against. So that takes us to the same chapter 33, but pages 18 and 19. Makima says, your necessary evil is just an excuse to justify your own crimes. Those excuses are unnecessary to society. So if we stopped it right there, that sounds pretty good. That is the, hero's point of view. That is absolute do the good deed, goody two shoes kind of character that we would expect out of most protagonists. This is the red flag dialogue, especially in the manga. She says the truly necessary evils are always kept collared and controlled by the state, and that the same way it was said in the anime, with saying the government should be the ones controlling, being the ones that are committing that unnecessary evil. Because what do governments do? The government always thinks that they are doing what's right, that they should be the ones making those decisions. So anywhere in history, when the world goes to shit, it's because of the damn government, guys. They think they know it all, and Makima is like that character that's representing that right now. And that was, especially when I first read it in the manga, the turning point to what I was thinking about Makima. There are still levels of the benefit of the doubt of, okay, she might be committing unnecessary evils herself. There are people that think, what they're doing is the right thing to do, and it could still be the right thing to do in the end, if they're still doing things that are for the benefit of society. But this was a huge turning point that made you seriously question what kind of character Makima is. Once again, that conversation between Kishibe and Makima, it makes you question Makima's character if you wasn't already questioning her character and where she actually lies in the scope of, is she a good guy, bad guy, or what the hell is she really? There's still a lot of mysterious elements to her character, but if you just break down unnecessary evil and how they go about their thought process behind it, Makima has a ton of red flags, and the anime has already kind of shown us, hey, look, she's kind of a weird character. Like, I think after episode 2, there's a certain vibe about her character that just seems off. And the fact that her powers are more just shown, and rather they keep a lot of things secret in the story, that mystery and the truth behind it can really turn things for the worse or for the better, or maybe she's a completely different character. It just sets up for a lot of misdirection in the end. But this episode 11 of Chainsaw Man is a foundational episode for Makima because it tells us a lot about her moral compass, how she sees the world in her point of view. This episode was the episode for me for Makima because this episode was a very serious episode. The vibe, the characters, those are the things that I harped on before. Denji and Power, they are the ridiculously dumb characters that we are constantly laughing at. And they give you that humorous balance between characters like Aki and Makima. So this episode was centered heavily around Makima because she is a truly terrifying character. She just is. There's elements there, red flags there, that she's at least an anti-hero, right? But there is also the element that anti-heroes still do very, very good and beneficial things to society. So there is a level of Makima that she still wants to help out society and help maintain peace in her way because she works for the government, guys. She believes they should have the control over the necessary evil over society. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about Makima. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. These are the kind of episodes that round out Chainsaw Man completely as a story, and I love this episode because of that element of Makima's character. We're finally getting insight to her character. The scene with her and the Yakuza boss, like, it was just a badass scene for her. And you know, I am not a simp for Makima, but I am a huge fan of her character, and this episode is exactly why, because we relate to those aspects so damn much. Yeah, just let me know what you guys thought up to this point about Makima, and do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, check out my blog at otakusin.com, check out my anime figure channel. As you guys can see back here, this is the latest unboxing video that I did, was of Trunks and Mecha Frieza, and I do live streams on Monday nights at 10 p.m. Central. So if you guys want to check out anime figures with me, and if you guys want to be involved in the live stream, go ahead and join my Discord. It will be in the description below. I'm Otaku-san, and this is a how-to anime video where we talk about our raw opinions about our favorite animes. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.